Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Tampa Bay Times article. Quote, if Trump moved, it wouldn't be the first time a change of address preceded a presidential contest. In 2000, George W. Bush and Cheney both called Texas home until Cheney picked up and went to Wyoming, just as Bush tapped him to be his running mate. A legal challenge to Cheney's claim to the... With the U.S. Supreme Court ultimately declining to intervene, Cheney served 2 terms as Bush's vice president. All Trump would have to do is file paperwork to change his residence. All Trump would have to do is just claim that, another state is where he truly resides. Not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. He has properties throughout the country. And so he absolutely could, and I believe he's secretly planning to go ahead and pick DeSantis. It makes sense, okay? You have the country right now. We are 90 seconds to midnight, according to the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists. For all the people who call Trump a narcissist and, give these armchair psychological evaluations, according to the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists, we are closer than ever to nuclear not only confrontation, but also, God forbid, annihilation. You think maybe it has to do with Biden's foreign policy? You think maybe it has to do with the adults in charge? We have inflation through the roof. We didn't have an invasion with Trump. We didn't have inflation with Trump. We had record low poverty in 2019. The people who claim Trump suffers from mental issues are the same people who exemplify those problems by ignoring the fact Trump presided over record low poverty in 2019. Fact, according to CNN, St. Louis Fed, according to the St. Louis Fed and all the economic data, every demographic group had their highest household median income on record. The country economically was doing, in terms of the economy, was doing better. Really, I would say better than ever, but then the fact check would be, in the late 50s, better than in decades. We were doing better. We had a better economy, and we had a better foreign policy. The media and everyone around Trump melted down, just like they're doing with DeSantis. But I believe Trump's overall plan, I think that he's already decided, and it's just a hunch. I'm allowed to give my viewpoint. And I don't have any inside knowledge at all. Okay, I don't want inside knowledge. But a Trump-DeSantis ticket would, I think, make some kind of peace or lead to a detente, so to speak, with the Arizona and Georgia Republican parties that do not want Trump. Okay? But those people, the never-Trumpers, want DeSantis. DeSantis is great. A lot of they say that, he's banning books. This is categorically not true. Okay? There are certain things I'm not even going to get into it, but DeSantis is not banning anything in the manner that people accuse him of. Here's the thing. When they start doing the same type of distorted, warped, twisted accusations towards DeSantis, there's no other running mate that could unite the entire Republican Party. Well, most of the Republican Party loves Trump. The GOP is Trump's party. You're not going to get 70+ million Americans, even if it's less than half the electorate, slightly less than half the electorate. You're not going to get anywhere close to that with a good Republican, Chris Christie, or Mittens Romney, or Paul Ryan. Good Republican. Nice people. They're good people. The liberals love them. We had a great economy with Trump. We had a great foreign policy with Trump. First president to step foot in North Korea. And we'll talk about this tonight. We'll do a live stream tonight at around 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, ladies and gentlemen. Be here tonight at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. I really do believe that he's going to pick DeSantis, and that all the next year and a half is just going to be endless strategy by media and by Trump. DeSantis, I think, will go along for the ride. He's totally down and totally fine with being Trump's running mate, because I think DeSantis obviously wants to become president eventually. The Tampa Bay Times here has an article. All Trump has to do is change, or DeSantis, but DeSantis is the governor, so all he has to do, well, the same thing with Bush. All Trump has to do is pick one of his other places of residence, and he's fine. Okay. DeSantis, former Florida congressman, born and raised in Sunshine State, could move as well, although the chances of that happening are slim, and grow slimmer if he is. So he's not gonna move. But the issue with DeSantis and Trump is that DeSantis is getting billionaires to back him, billionaire GOP donors. Okay, what better move for Trump than getting all the donors, the billionaire donors that don't like him, getting their choice for president as his vice president? That means the base of power within the Republican Party that doesn't want Trump is now almost forced to accept Trump. And whereas you have the people that really love Trump, I mean, you talk about, I don't have Twitter, I don't have Facebook. I don't have Twitter, I don't have Facebook, but you see on Twitter, you see these like old liberal, like they're like these aging liberal, these pundits, they've had a career in various fields, okay, and they're suddenly experts on how menacing Trump is because, their field of expertise. And it's like when Biden told Charlemagne the God that despicable statement, "You're not who you are if you don't vote for Biden," what is a greater example of somebody who's of arrogance, of narcissism than that? But see, again, what takes place with Trump and DeSantis is that in the never-Trumpers' experience, it's a psychological phenomenon. When people judge Trump, they do so in a vacuum. And this is very important. This is why he is going to pick DeSantis. Okay? You might say, well, he hasn't picked DeSantis yet. Why are you even talking about this? He's going to pick DeSantis. And the reason why is when people judge Trump, when they're morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrats are never Trumpers who just want a good Republican like Kinzinger. When they judge Trump, they do so in a vacuum. Suddenly, Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden, Hunter Biden and Bill Clinton and, Democratic donors who own islands, who are probably, roasting and where, those people don't exist. It's only Trump. Trump is the worst person in the known universe, and he exists within a vacuum. And so you judge him, and there's no grading curve. There are no other people out there that you can compare to Trump. And so when you lie about Trump, you utilize the same rubric, roadmap, template, game plan, strategy to lie about DeSantis. The same thing, all the absurd statements you've made about Trump, accusing him of being an operative of the Kremlin. They do this with Michael Flynn also. They couldn't find anything on Michael Flynn. Then they say he pled guilty. And then he made a business deal. So what? The Clintons and the Bidens make business deals all the time. Very shady. In fact, banks have suspicious activity reports for these deals. Not so with Flynn. He did literally nothing wrong. And Trump should have backed him, by the way, back in the day. But Flynn did literally nothing wrong, aside from meeting with two agents who wanted his demise. And so then they said, well, he lied. So therefore, that's a crime. Other than that, there was no problem with speaking to Sergei Kislyak. There was no problem with his consulting agreements. So when the system wants to go after you, it'll go after you. McCabe sent those agents. One of the agents, I believe, don't quote me, was kicked off the Mueller probe and kicked out of the Federal Bureau of Investigation for animus towards Trump. and other issues. Anyway, we're going to just experience the whole back and forth and the charade here for about the next year and a half or so. Oh, DeSantis, Trump, DeSantis, Trump. Trump has already picked DeSantis. He'll make it happen, and he'll find a way to make it happen. If he has to change his residence, he'll do so. Okay, he has golf courses throughout the country. And Mar-a-Lago, could be where obviously he resides the most, but he can formally change his residency, to another state. It's not a problem. It's not a big deal. Bush and Cheney did the same thing. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. Be here for the live stream today at around 6:30 p.m. Pacific. And go to hagoodman.com to read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, and other publications.